So the next part of this pattern is to do the rainbow raindrops. I've done one section in bright rainbow colours. This particular one's going to be slightly more pastel, and I need to do one more, so I'm going to use this blue to do this with. You're going to need a crochet hook. In the pattern it asks for 4mm, and you're going to need a stitch marker as well. So I'm going to start off with a magic loop, a chain 2, and then doing single crochets in the first chain, or you can chain 4, join in the loop, and then do 6 single crochets in that circle. Like I said, I'm starting with a magic loop. And in that loop I'm going to do, there we go, and I'm going to do 6 single crochets in there. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So we just double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to join into that first stitch with a single crochet. That's 1. I'm going to do another one straight in that stitch, that's 2. I'm going to do 2 in each stitch around, so I should end up with 12 at the end of this round. So I've done 2, that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. And close my hole, and there we go, we've got the beginning part of our circle. Everything gets a little bit easier from here. I'm going to start off by putting a stitch marker in my last stitch. I always mark my last stitch, but if you want to mark your first, that's fine. And then we're going to start off with our next repeating pattern, which is going to be 1 stitch in the first double crochet and then 2 in the next. So I'm going to put 1 into that first stitch and then 2 into the next. And I'm going to put 1 into the next stitch and then 2 into the next. And that's the repeating pattern for this round. 1 and then 2. One, and then in the last stitch we're going to do 2. And just so you know, the last stitch should always be, when you're doing increase rounds in this pattern, the last stitch will always be 2 of the same stitch. I'm going to move my stitch marker up, and in the next pattern, the next repeat is 1, 2 and then 2. So that's 1 in the first stitch, 1 in the second stitch, and then 2 in the third stitch. So that's 1, 2, 3 and 4. 1 in the first, 1 in the second, and then 2 in the last. I'll try and zoom in. hopefully this is going to be okay for you to see. So we're going to do one in the first stitch, one in the second stitch, and then 2 in that third stitch. 1, 1, and then 2. And you're going to do that all the way around until you get to the end. And like I said, the last stitch should be 2 single crochets. So technically I'm not wrong. It's a double crochet as well as a single crochet. I'm going to move up my stitch marker into the next stitch, into that last stitch, and then we're going to do the next row, and the next row is 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches and then 2 in the 4th. So it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. If you can hear that noise in the background, it's my washing machine. It's on a spin cycle. Hopefully it'll stop in a minute. Hopefully it's not that loud and you can't hear it. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, and then 2 in that last stitch. 1, 2, 3, and then 2 in the last stitch. And you do that all the way around, finishing off with 2 single crochets in the last stitch. And finish that round. Move the stitch marker up. And then the next round, we've finished with increasing, and now we're going to do a single crochet in each stitch, which is really simple. It's just simply a case of doing 1 single crochet in each stitch around. So you would do that for 2 rounds, so I'm going to do 1 more round of that, and then I'll be back to show you the next round. Okay, so that's the last stitch of that round. This next round is a decrease round, and in this round we're going to be single crocheting 2 together. I'm going to start off in this round doing 1 way of doing a decrease, and then in the next decrease round I'm going to show you a second way. So we're going to start off by doing 3 single crochets, so we want 1, 2 and 3, and then we're going to do a double crochet, a single crochet 2 together. we're going to go into that stitch, pull up a loop, go into the next stitch and pull up a loop, and then just single crochet and then just crochet them together. We're going to do 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to do a single crochet, 2 together. So the repeating pattern is single crochet, single crochet, single crochet, and then 2 together. Single crochet, single crochet, single crochet, 2 together. I'm going to try and zoom in on this. So, single crochet, single crochet, single crochet, and then in, pull up a loop, in, pull up a loop, and then yarn over and pull through all 3. Yes, it is. So 3, and then we're going to be double crocheting these last 2 stitches together. Sorry, single crocheting these last 2 stitches together. I'm working on another pattern at the moment, and it's all double crochet, so that might be why I'm saying it. And that is your first decrease round done. So I'm just going to move my stitch marker up. And then the next round is a single crochet in each stitch around for 2 rows. I'm going to do that off camera. You know how to do that. I'm going to do that off camera, and after I've done those 2 rows, I'll be back. Okay, so I've just completed the last 2 rounds of single crochet all around, and then we're going to do some more decreases. And I said I will show you a different way of doing a decrease stitch. So we're going to start off by doing single crochet in the next 2, and then we're going to decrease over these 2 stitches. So for this one, we're going to go into the first stitch, but we're only going to go in the front loop, and then we're going to go into the front loop of the next stitch, and then we're going to draw up a loop, draw through those 2, and then draw through the last 2. I'm going to try and zoom in. So I'm going to do a single crochet in the first stitch, single crochet in the next stitch, and then we're going to decrease over these 2. I'm going to go in the front loop of the first one, into the front loop of the second one. I'm going to draw up a loop on my hook, and pull that through those 2, and then draw up another loop and then pull through 2. So we're doing 2 single crochets, and then we're going to finish on a decrease there. And we're just going to move the stitch marker up. Okay. So the next round after that is to do 2 more rounds of single crochet in each stitch, and then I'm going to do those 2 rounds, and then I'm going to come back. Okay, we're on the home straight now. We're nearly done. So the next round is another decrease round. So we're going to do 1 single crochet in the first stitch, and then we're going to do 2 together. 1 single crochet, and then 2 together, and 1 single crochet, and then 2 together. Sorry, I just knocked the camera there. One single crochet, and we're finishing on 2 together. Now at this point we're going to move our stitch marker, but we're going to put it in our loop, in our actual stitch, because we are going to be doing some stuffing. So there we go. There's the beginning of it. I've got some stuffing here, and this is just normal toy stuffing. I feel you can get it from most. I've got some off Amazon and Hobbycraft. I've got it from Hobbycraft as well. So basically I'm just going to fluff it up to start off with. I'm just fluffing it up a bit, and then I'm going to pop it in here. Now basically what you're going to try and do with this is you're just going to try and create that raindrop shape. I'm just fluffing this up. I'm going to fill it up, and then we can move on to the next stage. So we have done the last couple of rounds and we have stuffed it, and now what we're going to do is really simple. It's single crochet in each stitch around. We're going to do that for 2 rounds. And this can be a bit tricky the first time you do it because you're not used to having the stuff in there, and I basically use my middle finger to pull the stuffing away from the stitch, insert my, oh, you can't see a thing, can you? So I would use my middle finger. This all depends on how you hold your yarn, to be honest with you. I will use my middle finger to pull the stuffing out of the way of the stitch. Then I insert my hook, and funny thing is I actually find it easier to crochet with stuffing in. I think the first few times you do it you're worried that you're going to lose your stuffing or you're going to lose your shaping that you've done, but yeah. Oh dear, I've forgotten to put my stitch mark in. Okay, looks like it's about here. So, done my and then for this round we are going to do 2 single crochets. Sorry, we're going to single crochet 2 stitches together all the way around. So I'm just going to do a decrease in these 2 stitches. So we had 12, and then by the time we've done this one we'll end up with 6 stitches. This is where it starts getting a little bit fiddly. Number 4, 5, and that one's 5, and this one's number 6. So we've decreased all the way around. And then I'm going to put my stitch marker in that actual loop again because I'm going to do some more stuffing. Now, as you can see, we've got a very small hole, but we need to get some more stuffing in here. So I'm going to get some more stuffing, fluff it up a bit. We'll start off with a smaller amount. And then I'm going to feed it in, and I'm going to use my crochet hook, or you could use a blunt pair of scissors to do this as well. And you're just going to try to tease it in. With the handle of your hook. And then we are going to do our last round, which is single crochet all the way around. We've only got 6 stitches, so I'm just going to single crochet 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and our last one is 6. I'm then going to leave a bit of a tail because I'm going to use this tail to sew in. If you decide to use your tail to attach to your cloud, give yourself a long tail so you've got enough to do that with. I'm going to close this up using what I call, and I think most people call, the drawstring method. And what we're looking for is the stitches. I'm going to try and zoom in. We're looking for the stitches here. And we're going to go in this one and then out the next one. Pull that through. We're going to go in the next one and out the next one. So in the next, out the next. Pull that through. In the next. And out the next. And that should be enough, and then you can pull it tight. And what I tend to do, just to make sure I've got a strong tied off end, I'm just going to knock that off and zoom out again so you can see what I'm doing. And then I'm going to poke my needle in, and I'm going to go through the stuffing and come out somewhere else. I've come out of this stitch here. I'm going to go into the next stitch here. I'm going to wrap it around that stitch, and then I'm going to go back in and come back out somewhere else. Let's bring that away. I'm going to pull it tight and push down on this here, and I'm pulling this tight. I'm going to get as close as I dare, slip it off, and that should bury the end inside. So there you go. There is your raindrop. And depending on how you're going to connect these, if you're going to use these talons to attach to this cloud, make it finish it so it's coming back out the top of the drop, like this one. But then once you've done that, you need to make 5 of these, and your back and your front of your cloud. And in the next video, I'm going to show you how to put it all together.